Thank you, Jerry. And as our friend Yogi Berra said many years ago, I want to thank you for making this occasion necessary. I want to thank you for making this occasion memorable. It is a great, almost unthinkable honor to come back to Cooperstown to receive the J.G. Taylor Spink Award, named for the first publisher of the Sporting News and the first recipient of this award. It's unthinkable because this is the Hall of Fame. By inviting me here, you touch my life with greatness, with the greatness of these players on the platform, with the greatness of those enshrined in the Hall of Fame itself. And I'm extremely grateful and honored. Bill Foster, Ned Hanlon, Jim Bunning, and Earl Weaver, in particular, who are being honored today. Jim Bunning, Casey Stengel used to say that Bunning must be good. He wins in both leagues. He won 100 games in both leagues. He struck out 1,000 batters in both leagues. He pitched a no-hitter in both leagues. And Earl Weaver, who probably doesn't know that he's here today because of one man, Davy Johnson. When Earl was managing the Orioles, his second baseman wasn't content just to play second base. He was a kind of mathematical fanatic who would spend his evenings at the Johns Hopkins computer lab, stuffing the computer with statistics on a project that he endearingly called optimization of the Baltimore Orioles lineup. And when he at last was finished with his labors, he put every statistic into the computers. He had crazy things. What would happen if Frank Robinson led off? If Brooks Robinson batted second? He collected all the data. He went back to the ballpark and he handed it to Earl and said, take a look at this optimization of the Orioles lineup. And I said, what did Earl do with it? And Davy said, very dejected, he threw it in the wastebasket. And with good reason, because Earl Weaver had probably optimized the Orioles lineup to the point where they had won 6 division titles and 4 American League pennants. If I have one message for you today, it's brief, and I think it's clear. And that message is, don't mess around with baseball. Any game, any business that has survived 150 years of time should not be tinkered with. Gimmicks should not count. 50 years ago, a famous American athlete died, and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch wrote this editorial about him. Now, this wasn't the obituary, this was an editorial on this man's life, and this is what it said. There he stood, a great tall inverted pyramid at the plate. At the top were 2 of the broadest, most powerful shoulders the bleachers had ever seen. His slender legs hugged each other, and his feet came together like the dot of an exclamation point. He wasn't fussy, no nervous swinging of the bat, no uneasy kicking of his shoes, no bending over, no straightening up. Just a deliberate getting set, maybe a little motion at the wrists, that and a death watch on the man on the mound. Then the first pitch, low and outside. Everybody tense except the inverted pyramid. Another pitch, low and away. Were they going to walk him? With 2 on and the winning run at bat, a walk was the play. Then a third pitch. The pyramid gathers himself, steps into the ball and swings, all in one motion. Before the crack of the blow reaches ears in the stands, the ball is lofting away on wings. It rises right of second, arches higher and higher over right field, and drops into a sea of upraised hands for another home run. He is jogging around the bags, 2 runs scoring ahead of him. Another game won for the New York Yankees, another game near the American League pennant, and still another World Series. Jogging on, around second, up to third as the din rises. now spikes down on the plate and home again, home for all time. I think that editorial elevated the writing profession many degrees, and it certainly captured the essence of baseball. You notice they didn't even use his name. They didn't have to. They captured the unmistakable image of Babe Ruth. In another time, it might have been the image of Henry Aaron. But on that day, in that place, they caught the essence of baseball. And I urge you now, at this Hall of Fame, at this field of our dreams, protect that tradition. Preserve that image. As Casey Stengel used to say, right here at Cooperstown when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, I chased the balls that Babe Ruth hit. Protect that image. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. God bless. Goodbye.